right, good morning, everybody. I am recording this video on packet pickup day, so I may have to stop every now and again, and you might catch me looking over just a little bit. That's to see if somebody's come in the room. So this is your Google Classroom. I'm using First Block just because it was the first one that popped up. So you see on the stream, this is your remote learning schedule, okay? And this will tell you what you have to do every day, all right? You'll always have a bell ringer, which you go to the classwork tab, then your bell ringers are right here. So every day you'll have a bell ringer you have to do. If you do that in one day, nobody's stopping you, okay? And remember, they just have to be handwritten. Then you had your syllabus overview here, and you had a video with me going over the syllabus and the expectations for the class, and then maps will come next. But first, let's get to how to write an essay. When you click how to write an essay, it takes you to all these different links. Okay, I'm going to start with this one, how to write an essay, Prezi. Okay, so how do you write an essay? Well, first and foremost, you have an introduction. This paragraph introduces the reader to what you're going to be talking about. You give the reader a hook. Your first essay will be on monotheistic religions. So your hook might be, there are three predominant monotheistic religions in the world, and they are X, Y, and Z. Okay, so that's an example of a hook. After the hook, you give information about the topic you're discussing. This information should become more specific as you, who are the writer, move along in the paragraph, and should lead to your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is your driving force of your essay. It's what your entire essay should be about. Your thesis statement shows the reader what you have to say and what main points you are going to support throughout your paper. Then you have the body of your paper. That's the meat of your paper. The body of an essay supports the main points in your thesis statement. Your essay should be the body of your essay should be at least 2 to 3 paragraphs in length, and the body of your paragraphs for this class will use information from text provided to you. And so you'll always have to cite those sources. You'll cite those sources in APA. And body paragraphs should have good transitions that connect to the thesis, okay? So finally, in your paper, you're going to have conclusions. The conclusion paragraph is the final paragraph of your essay. It wraps up what you wanted to say, okay? And it always refers back to the thesis. You should feel a sense of closure. The best way to check your papers is to read it out loud to yourself. If you feel like you still have unanswered questions, then I'm going to feel that way too, okay? So read your paper out loud. That's the best thing you can do. New ideas should never, ever, ever be listed in the conclusion paragraph, okay? Conclusion means you're not giving me any new ideas you haven't already previously stated. So never, never do that, okay? Elements of a paragraph. Paragraphs are very important, okay? Paragraphs give you the meat, right? Of your essay. The paragraphs, of course, you have an introductory paragraph. You have a body, 2 to 3 body paragraphs, and then a conclusion paragraph. A paragraph should have a topic sentence that's going to state the main idea of what the paragraph is going to be about and go back to the thesis. And the first sentence of each paragraph should be like a transitional piece to where it's flows, it's smooth. The rest of your paragraph should have some supporting details that elaborate on your first sentence, that refer back to the thesis. See, everything refers back to that thesis. And then your concluding sentence should wrap up what you were trying to say in that paragraph and transition to the next paragraph. So an example of this, if I were to ask you to write something about the Crusades, this would be a perfect example, okay? So the Crusades were a series of wars fought between Christians and Muslims in the late Middle Ages. Okay, so that's your topic. That's what my paragraph is going to be about. You know that I'm going to talk about the Crusades. You know that I'm going to talk about that they were wars between Christians and Muslims. All right, the Crusades were fought to free the Holy Land, land where Jesus lived and preached, from Muslim control. So it told you why they were fought, who fought in them, and why. Pope Urban incited the First Crusade when he called nobles to take back land from Muslim control in Jerusalem due to the harsh treatment of Christians living there. Okay, again, refers back to that topic sentence. In the First Crusade, the Christians defeated the Muslims and took back control of Jerusalem. That was a detail of referring back to the Crusades. Christian victory was short lived due to the fact that Saladin and Muslim armies defeated the Christians and reconquered Jerusalem in the Third Crusade. So all of it pointed back to that topic sentence, but in that conclusion sentence, we wrapped it up saying that, yes, the Christians did win the first one, but overall they did not win. Okay, so the introduction and conclusion paragraphs, 4 to 5 sentences, body paragraphs, 4 to 7. I know I have 5 on there, but 4 would suffice. And you use this model to assist you in writing your paragraphs and your essays. So if for homework you have to write a paragraph, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm expecting. Okay. Um, and then how to cite your sources. Okay, citing is so important because it tells me that this was not your original thought and you saw this information somewhere else. So you're giving credit where credit is due. Okay, so anytime that a thought is not yours, okay, I don't care if you heard it from somewhere, make sure that's legitimate. Okay, look it up online, find out, make sure it's legitimate, and cite that. Okay, um, if you tell me that Judaism is a monotheistic religion in your essay, guess what? That was not your thought. Your reading is going to tell you that, so you should cite that source. I don't care if you have 15 cites in one paragraph. That's fine. Your citation should go at the end of your sentence and should be at the end of every sentence, no matter if it's the same source. That's APA citation, okay? Rule of thumb, if you read it or you heard it, you cite it. If not, that's plagiarism. It's a failing grade, okay? So here are some examples of using the APA citation. In-text citation includes the author's name, the year they wrote it. Another way to write the same sentence, okay, these are 2 examples of in-text citation. When it comes to ruling over others, it's better to be feared than loved. Okay, Machiavelli said that. All right, another way to write the same sentence would be, according to Machiavelli, the year he wrote it, okay, it's better for rulers to be feared than loved. Using a direct quotation, you must include the page number. So according to Machiavelli, 2003, what page you got it from, it is much safer to be feared than loved if one of the two has to be lacking. And I forgot to put the other exclamation point. Those things. Mine went blank. Sorry. Quotation marks. There we go. Reference page is always at the end of your paper, and I will show you guys that on your first monotheistic religions essay. And then that is all for our how to write an essay. I give you another format to look at this through basic essay format, okay, your citations, and then parts of a paragraph, okay, so that you can make sure that you understand. That's our example paragraph again. And then common grammar errors. I would encourage you to read this before your first essay. Okay? So, sorry, someone just came by and distracted me. But I would strongly suggest to read this and look over this before your first essay is due. All right, you should never write a paper in second person point of view because it speaks directly to your reader. In this class, you will never be speaking to your reader. Okay. These are informational text. You're not writing a persuasive essay. Most of your essays will be comparison essays. So you're never trying to persuade a reader one way or the other. Never put you, never put I in essays for this class. Okay, so read over this. It talks about run-on sentences, fused sentences, comma splices, fragments, points of view. These are mistakes that people commonly make in writing essays and writing papers. And it shouldn't say for advanced World 1 because it's for all of World 1. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, and so here we go. Okay. If you have any questions, you need any help, I will always be here to help you. If you need help on your first essay, reach out to me. I'll work with you. Okay. But that's all for now. Thanks, guys.